One of my dream jobs when I was younger, and I remember this, I wanted to be one of the people, I loved the movie Ratatouille when the kids were little.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to be one of those like food critiquers that went to
Yeah.
restaurants and got to like sit and eat and like rate the food and, do a newspaper write-up on it
Yes.
like back in the day. And so when I
restaurant
make
critic.
stuff, restaurant critic.
right.
So when I make stuff, so if anybody's out there looking for one, let me know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I when I make food, it's like a comforting thing.
Yep.
Like
Right.
it's like a creation thing, and it
Welcome back to Three Girls, One Office, where we are living, laughing, and thriving as we mature and get older. We are here right in Westchester Studios, which is a fabulous place if you've ever thought about doing a podcast or have any media needs. It is right outside of the Westchester Borough. Such a creative team and so much fun. We have Steph, Dee, and a special guest here with us today that we are excited to introduce you to. If you know her, you love her. If you don't know her, you are going to love her. And Steph,
Well,
let's
today we have the
introduce.
one and only Jenn Smith.
Yay!
So Jenn is a super mom. She's a nutrition and health wellness expert. She is a fitness coach, and she is also the new head trainer of Gauge Strength Training, which we are so happy about. And she's a Trader Joe's. I was like, TJ Maxx.
TJ.
She is a Trader Joe's expert too. Little known fact.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love it.
with that, welcome to the studio, Jen.
you.
We're so happy to have you here today.
So excited.
And we have so many things that we want to ask you.
Yeah.
Not only stuff about nutrition and fitness, but about also just positive attitude. Just so many things that we look to you for.
Cool.
So how are you today?
I am great. It's Friday.
Yes,
I love
yes, it is.
Yeah.
But I think the first question, which I think a lot of people will want to know, is how did you, the path to this wellness expert? That's what I want to call you, because you really are almost like I would say an influencer, if you will.
Yeah.
How did you? Was this something you were always passionate about? Is this something you became a career for you later on? I want to know.
That's a great question. And I love sharing this because I was a young mom. So I had my first when I was 24 years old.
Okay.
And in that gap of college and then having children, I kind of fell off the workout train.
Okay.
And I could tell that I needed to change up. So after I had my first child, I really, really craved getting out of the house
Okay.
as soon as he would get to bed and move my body. And that was like my happy hour.
Okay.
And it really was something I looked forward to. I looked forward to being around adults. I was a stay-at-home mom. And I knew that I wanted to be the person who I went to go train with. She just like made my day. And I knew at that point that I was like, I want to be that person that makes
someone
other
else.
people's day.
Sure.
So fast forward, I had Ava 3 years later. I went to go into a gym one day, just sporadically in the city of Baltimore. And I walked in and I said, how do I become a trainer, a coach, an instructor? And they looked at me like, well, and I will always be thankful for the person who led me to an audition, to the path of, what I needed to do. And I was 32 years old.
Wow.
My first class that I ever coached was I dropped Ava off at preschool, 3-year-old preschool, and I went to coach my first class.
Were you nervous?
I was petrified.
Because you're such a natural at it, I have to say.
Really?
But
You are.
And you know what? Like my first couple classes, like 2 people came, and I was
Okay.
like, all right, okay, we got to start somewhere. But what it taught me most, and what I'm so grateful for, is it got me out of my comfort zone.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it propelled me to learn about growth and taking risk and doing all the things scared. And so it was something that really, when the kids were little, I just knew that I needed to do more.
It kind of spoke to
Get
you.
out. Yeah, it was.
That's so
Well, not only did it speak to you, but it helped you.
Oh, for
so
sure.
therefore, okay, this is great. It's not only helping me, but now I think I want to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how you know you're doing something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Now, prior to coaching, were you more, I don't want to say reserved, but were you like quiet and shy, or, what was your personality prior? Because like you are so upbeat and so fun and so like
You are.
energetic. It's like
Sure.
magnetic. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but have you always been that way?
I'm somebody who like matches energy with other
Yeah,
people. So when I'm in an environment, and that's why I love large group sessions. When I'm in an environment that has such great energy, and I think that's what really like led me back to it because it energized me.
Okay.
I'm definitely not hoppy Jen like all the time, like all like you know like on
Sure.
that level, but it definitely was like an energy thing for me. Just created more energy.
Okay.
But yeah.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I think I will say this, like on a more personal note, you are so inspiring to all of us, and I think kind of, you know, I know you've dealt with some things in your past, kind of similar sort of stories there. How do you stay so positive? Like, is there something that you do? Like, is there a routine that you follow? Because I know for me, watching you, it inspires me to sort of have a different spin on how I'm feeling during the day. Like your peace, health, tell me that peace, love, health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is just
That's her
inspiring.
Instagram page. You
Instagram
have to
page.
follow
Instagram
it.
page.
We'll remind you again at the end.
And you're so real on it. Like
Thanks.
you put it out there, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But you put it out in such a graceful, beautiful way that
Thanks.
I just
Thank
want to
you.
see
What's
more
the
all the
key?
time.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Teach us your ways.
Yes.
So peace, love, health, that actually was something I used to say to my kids when I put them to bed at night. I used to say peace, love to them on the way out. I would put them in bed and I'd tiptoe out because I like rocked my kids to sleep every night.
Yeah.
And I'd say peace, love, and then I'd close the door.
Okay.
And then when I moved back home and got more into the wellness space, I attached health to it because it's like, it just went with it.
Right.
I ended up getting it tattooed to me.
Okay.
And my mom's handwriting. Like, it was
Okay.
just
I
such
love
a
that.
big thing. And
Okay.
I, staying positive for me, definitely learned from my mom.
Okay.
I had 6 siblings. It was always very, like, busy around.
Are you
and
the oldest, Jen?
I'm
I
the
forget.
second
Second oldest?
Oldest
Okay.
girl.
Okay.
And it was always busy around. And I really looked up to her. She kept her cool. Like, things could be hitting the fan left and right, and she would always be positive. And, like, even, like, you know, getting dressed up every day and, like, just showing up. And she always told me you can't afford one negative thought. So anytime I have a negative
remember
thought
that.
come in my head, I accept it. And then I just hear my mom say, you can't afford that. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
let
afford
it
that.
go.
And I'm like, let it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely, like, yeah, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Sure. Sure.
But you seem like when from following you, not just knowing you, but just really follow. I feel like I've gotten to know you a lot on Instagram because you are so open about your life. Jen is not just a super mom. She's a daughter. You're an aunt. I mean, I see you with your recently your sister had 2 little guys.
Yes.
But I know you have a large family with nieces, nephews,
Lots.
siblings. I just know family probably is the core of. I can feel that from your page.
Absolutely.
That is your core.
Yeah.
And then I know you're spiritual.
Yes.
So it's just like you have. I feel like you're very. You have all these pieces of your life that just make you who you are, and you share that. So it's. But you seem like you have a routine as well.
I do.
Yeah.
I do
You know,
have a
to
routine.
keep because in order to be all those things to all those people.
Oh, for sure.
And you have your health and wellness business, Isagenix, that you have as well. How do you do it? Like, what's like a day in the life for Jen?
Day in the life of Jen. The alarm goes off early, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel like
Okay.
I like getting up before the world gets up.
Okay. Even on the weekends?
Not on the weekends. I sleep a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, I sleep a little bit more, but I first thing I do when I get up is chug my water.
Okay.
Sitting next to my bed, and then I go right to my favorite book, Jesus Calling.
Okay.
Another book that my mom introduced me to, and it just like grounds me and sets the tone for the day.
Okay.
And then I go to my little flip calendar.
Okay.
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
post that
I
a
love
lot
that.
because I really do. It's an affirmations calendar that my cousin gave me years ago. And those are the 2 things, like my non-negotiables in the morning that I
Okay.
really go to. And I first,
Start your
before I
day.
even look at my phone, I read, and then I get to my morning routine. And I try my hardest, other than posting my schedule for the day, which I find helpful for me to just see what I have ahead of me, to kind of unplug in the morning and get focused.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not always perfect, but like
Sure.
I
And
know
you have an
it's-
early start. When you say you get up
Yeah.
early, I mean, Jen's
Yeah.
coaching at the gym at sometimes 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
means for you to have this time to do your,
Yeah.
your affirmations
Yep.
and your
Yeah.
and to read your book and everything like
Yeah.
that. That has you. What do you get up at 4?
You don't
Yeah.
hit snooze, do you?
Some days.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Sure.
some
Okay.
days. I do love like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like getting out of bed,
Yep.
Mel Robbins. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
that has been game changer for me. And
Okay.
yeah, sometimes I set it a little earlier so I can snooze.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that makes
goofy.
sense.
Yeah.
What's the late sleeping on the weekend? Like what do you consider
What's
late?
late for
Is
you?
it like
I-
noon
yeah.
or
I try really hard. My pup like gets me up because she's so used to getting up with me at 4. So like sometimes I'm like, it's Saturday. Can we really sleep in? But, 7 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
7
Fair
a.m.
enough. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Did you ever think we'd have a day where any of us thought 7 a.m. was
Sleep in?
That
Yeah.
is.
Oh my goodness,
It
that's
is
so
sleeping
funny.
in.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So
Yeah.
you start your day early.
Uh-huh.
You have 2 kids.
Yep.
You're juggling life, and
Yeah.
then you have to come in and you're kind of keeping us all motivated and
Yeah.
like pumped up. Like, is
Yeah.
it ever challenging in that way? Like, because
Yeah.
we've never seen you on a bad day, but
Yeah.
I'm sure
Right.
they have had.
And do you drink coffee? I need to know.
I do drink coffee.
You do drink coffee?
I
Okay.
don't drink it first thing in the morning. I drink
Okay.
it like later because I make it usually about an hour or 2 hours after I wake up. And it's usually cold brew.
Okay.
Weekends is a hot cup of coffee.
Because you bring the
Yeah.
energy, and
Thanks.
I know
You
Yeah.
do.
Thanks.
Like, is
Yeah.
there a secret to that? Like, how do you?
I change my state. Like I guess a lot of people can speak to this on what they do for a living or how they show up. If you're having a bad day, I don't bring it to the floor with me.
Yeah.
I change my state. I accept it, but I do try. I can turn on, off, and I'm not gonna. I bring good energy.
Yep. Yep.
And I just kind of
You
shake it
do.
off. Push-ups will change your energy. Jamming out in the car will change your energy. Usually
that.
before I even walk into a session, I'll blast music, and sometimes
Yeah.
people witness it and they're like, "What is she doing?" And I'll be like singing and dancing.
I wanna
and, like,
witness
always
that.
And I'm like, "This is how I change
Where
my
can we
state."
find you?
It's like a
yeah.
Jen's revival camp or something.
You obviously love music too, though, because
Yeah.
you always
I
have
do.
a really good playlist.
Chef's kiss.
And you read the
Chef's
room.
kiss.
Like I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the time of day, the
Yep.
crew you have. It's like you have a special playlist just for. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
I do.
Jen played this just for me today.
I feel like we
really
have a
feel that
similar
way.
vibe in music
Yeah.
because she'll put the playlist will go and then there's like a song that comes on and I'm like, oh, and then she's like, she
Yeah.
changed
Yeah,
it. I'm like,
I
oh,
know.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to feel it, and that's important. Is to read the room and just like know who is around you and be able to like. And music is energy. Music
I
is
love it.
good, like sets the tone.
It is.
Yeah.
I'd love to dive in a little bit into the wellness piece
Yeah,
of this
absolutely.
because it's been interesting to me, and I don't know if I shared this story with you in terms of Isagenix.
Yeah.
When I first moved into the house that I live in now, I went to a meeting.
No way.
And they talked about, I believe it was your grandfather,
Yeah.
correct? And
Yeah.
I had no idea who that was until years later when you
Oh,
and I
that's
met.
so
And I was like,
funny.
and that story,
Yeah.
and maybe you could share it here,
Yeah.
stuck in my head
No way.
for years as
Yeah.
an inspirational story. And then of course it made perfect sense
Yeah.
that you were like,
love it.
yeah, so it just was really cool and
Yeah.
inspirational. So if you,
Can
It's
you
a-
share what Isagenix is, just in case anyone
Yeah.
doesn't know? And
I
then
think of
tell us the story.
Isagenix as like a wellness superstore.
Yeah.
It's been around for 23 years. It has been in my life for that long. And I look at it as Costco. It's like a Whole Foods
Yeah.
superfood store that's online, global. Isagenix, like I guess I was leaving for college so 23-ish, now I'm aging myself,
That's okay.
when it was brought into my house and introduced to my mom. So my
Okay.
grandfather, who at 74,
Yeah.
he's 97 now, was somebody shared it with him, and he had phenomenal results. And this was before social media, so they were taking pictures of themselves before and afters and mailing them off to friends in Canada and other states and saying like, "Look at my results." We see before and afters all the time.
Yeah, now it's a
but
whole new world.
back in the day, they'd have to mail it, put a postage on it, and be like, "These were my results." And he was so for it in the beginning, like just like this is change. When something has like an emotional, a physical transformation for people, like that's huge. And shared it with my mom, and my mom didn't need to lose any weight, but she definitely needed some wellness products and
Nutrition.
nutrition in her
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And that was another eye opener for me as far as it's for everybody. It's
Yeah, it's
not
not
just
just
for
for-
people
yeah,
who
losing
it's
weight.
food, it's nutrition. And I looked down on it for years. I left for college and I was like, I don't need that. I don't what? And it wasn't until my 30s that I was like,
I need that.
after watching lots and lots of my friends and
Yeah.
people in my family get really good results, I'm like, and I'm a trainer at this point, and I'm like working my butt off, and I'm not getting the results that I really,
Sure.
and I'm like, I should really try it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think it's time. And I moved back in with my parents, and I opened up the pantry, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm eating this. Like, this is
Yeah.
going to be my food because I'm here and it's all over. And I'm like, this is going down. And so I tried it first 30 days. I had amazing results I didn't get in the gym because I knew it had a lot to do with how I was fueling myself. And I was like, the lights went off.
Yeah.
Aha
And I
moment.
was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is a great tool. And somebody that's in the wellness space, I can use this tool to help others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me
So-
tell you, when you make a shake on
my
Instagram,
gosh.
I don't know. I need to know the exact ratios because
The pour.
the pour, it's always
Oh,
amazing.
about the pour. The consistency is key.
There's nothing worse than a thin protein
Yeah.
shake, and Jen makes them just.
Yeah.
It's you could do a commercial.
It's
like
10,
just
it's 10 years of making them.
I'm telling
Like
you.
literally, I still in the morning get excited to go make it. And
Okay.
like I like just And
What's your favorite flavor?
I'm a chocolate girl.
Are you?
I'm
Yeah,
a
I
chocolate
like a
girl.
chocolate. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
totally
great.
chocolate. I could drink chocolate shakes the rest of my life and be fine. But
Yeah.
we do switch it. I do switch it up.
If we were going to start Isagenix, like what would be the greatest product to start with? Like a good intro to it.
Absolutely, there's protein shake,
Yeah.
and adaptogens. This
Okay.
was something that I was introduced to at such a young age that now is like a buzzword, especially in our age demographic, ashwagandha and rhodiola and all these adaptogens. And I've been taking this, I call it liquid gold every morning. And I would say those are my two staple products with Isagenix and their
Okay.
collagen.
Okay.
But I honestly like, it's like when you go to Trader Joe's or you go to Giant or you go to Wegmans and you have staple stuff that you go in and get. It's like Isagenix has hundreds of products, but
Right.
you have your staple stuff
Yeah.
that like you just can't.
Well, which is good because if
Do
someone says
without.
to you,
Yeah.
like, this is my lifestyle, like,
Yeah.
I need, what would be the best 2 or 3 things? Then you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Or what are your goals? Or what
Yeah.
are you looking to achieve?
Right.
And it literally it's tools.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that like for us, and we talk a lot about like snacking and food
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's important to find the things that are good for you, that taste good. It's not easy to
Absolutely.
do.
That's
I
it.
mean, we've
No.
tested every protein bar.
I know. I
Make it
know.
Oh.
Make it our job
Katie
to
Boyle,
test.
Yeah.
and I think have tried every bar on the market.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like,
Shout out
it's-
to her.
It's,
She's doing it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, so it's great to find great products that you can feel good about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To
But
go,
also easy too to implement into your diet because
That's what was the thing
hard.
for me. It was like I needed simplicity. I needed as soon as I found something that worked, I knew I just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
Like you just got to find something that works for you and stick with it. And the convenience factor was that.
convenience
Key.
is everything,
Everything.
isn't it?
It really
Things
is.
you can bring in the car. I know Dee always shows car snacks, and it's
car
great.
snacks are
And I
real.
love
Everybody
seeing car
should have
snacks.
car snacks.
I need inspiration, and so this is great.
To me, it
Absolutely.
something tastes better in the car. I
Yeah.
don't know
Right, it
why.
does. I agree.
And I'm also not like a person. I probably shouldn't share this, but I love to eat on the couch or like in bed.
Yeah.
Not in my like if I'm on vacation.
A relaxing
Like
experience.
Yeah.
I love to get into bed and like eat a snack. I don't know. It tastes better to me.
I bring pretzels to bed all the time.
Oh, see.
So Jen, I think it would be
gonna
helpful
try
to
that.
know.
It brings such joy. I had the stomach
Yeah.
flu in November, and I remember like having a stack of rice cakes. And I think we were talking, and I was like, even when I'm not sick, I think I'm going to bring a stack of rice cakes to
Yeah.
bed. Like it just feels, I don't know.
Feels right.
Joe doesn't like the crumbs, but it is what it
You
know.
live once. You have to do things that
Yeah.
the little,
I-
the little things. Yeah. So Jen,
I would always like tell my kids no food in bed.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring pretzels to
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
gonna
allowed.
go against everything I've
No,
ever.
it's
allowed
fine.
to do
Try
what
it.
she wants.
I'm telling you, try it.
So what? So for people looking to maybe, add more nutritious foods to their life, like what are some, in addition to the products from Isagenix? I know
Yeah.
they're important to to your diet.
Yep.
What are some other maybe advice for people trying to start eating a little healthier? I know it's so hard to get a lot. All we hear about is protein.
I know.
You know, drinking water, all that. And I notice on your Instagram page, you're always experimenting with recipes, specifically with things you get at Trader Joe's, which I love seeing your hauls.
Yeah.
But what are some simple things that people can add into their diet just to make them feel better? Some just whole foods that might.
I think simple is the word that I love that you used. It's not really about recreating the wheel of what you're achieving. It's like find the foods you like that excite you. If they're not in the best category, that's okay. You can still save them. It's 80-20. So 80% healthy, 20% fun. I buy things. I usually do the perimeter. I'm a perimeters kind of girl, like as far as fruits and vegetables. But I love sourdough, and I love making fun sourdough toast or avocado toast, or I love my eggs. But I eat the same thing all the time. I do fix up some fun stuff sometimes, but it's basically I'm a string cheese kind of girl. I'm not big on yogurt, but I've learned to love cottage cheese lately, and that's really new to me, but I really enjoy it. But, adulting is counting protein.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
true.
the bottom
That's
line
true.
right now. I think adulting really has to do, and once you realize how much protein your body requires and you feel good getting that amount in, it's I enjoy going for protein because I know it's going to make me feel good.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't feel like a meal's complete if I don't have kind of it's all like what you learn when you're little, the plate has to have. I feel like the protein is so important.
Yeah.
And you can have fun with it. I mean, I honestly get a lot of ideas of people online. I don't, and then I run with it, and then I try to recreate it and get a good foodie picture and then devour it. It's
you always
definitely,
make it look so good.
Yeah, you really
I know,
do.
you really do.
You were probably a food stylist in another life.
Maybe.
Or maybe in another life you'll be a food stylist.
One of my dream jobs when I was younger, and I remember this, I wanted to be one of the people, I loved the movie Ratatouille when the kids were little.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to be one of those food critiquers that went to
Yeah.
restaurants and got to sit and eat and rate the food and do a newspaper write up on it
Yes.
back in the day. And so when I
restaurant
make
critic.
stuff,
critic.
restaurant critic. Right. So when I make stuff, so if anybody's out there looking for one, let me know.
Yes.
I when I make food, it's like a comforting thing.
Yep.
It's like a creation thing, and it
Now, do your kids eat healthy? Because I find kids tend to mirror what their parents do. Unfortunately, mine, it's been a little harder.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband and I eat pretty healthy, and, we're working on it. But do your kids, now that you're cooking all these recipes and stuff, are they I want to try that? They're getting a little older.
I would say Ava's definitely more, she'll try things more. Kids are kids.
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets, cheesesteaks, pizza, all the things. But like I said, I'll buy the good stuff. I'll buy some of the fun stuff.
Okay.
And we go for it. And
balance.
Yeah, it's balance.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely I'll never forget the first time I attempted cauliflower gnocchis. And I didn't tell them. And I was okay. And sometimes I'll do that. I'll do a super alternative, healthier option. And they'll be like, what is this? And I'm like, dang, they noticed.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll try something, they'll be like, this is so good. And I'm like, oh my God, I snuck cottage cheese in it. And I had no idea.
Yeah.
So it's kind of there was a book when they were little. It was Jerry Seinfeld's wife wrote it. Deceptively delicious. And I tried a lot of those recipes, and I loved it.
Yes, that sweet potato puree.
Oh,
and
it was
everything.
It was chickpea chocolate chip cookies. That's when I tried
mine
to
didn't come out good.
sneak in. Yeah, mine didn't either. Some of them, and I was like,
but it's trial and
you
error
sneak it
too.
in. Yeah, sneak it in, just like we sneak it in.
I like your use of the word fun instead of good food and bad food.
Oh yeah.
I like your use of that word.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, healthy and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And food should be fun. I mean, it's a treat.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
What do you find with because you do a lot of nutrition consults with clients. What do you find? What's the big challenge for people? Is it getting in protein? Is it just trying to be healthy? Just in general, eat healthy? Because I know it can be hard, especially if you're on the go.
Sure.
So what is a big challenge you're seeing with clients, and what is some advice that you might want to give some people that might be looking to get a little healthier?
I don't know if I would say it's a challenge. I think it's something that we were misled to, and a mindset. Food is fuel. And I think a lot of people out there are under fueling, and they're not eating enough. And protein out of all the macros, carbs and fats, you know, for somebody who's brand new at tracking or just getting an idea of how much food they should be intaking, protein is something I zero in on first because I know the effect that it'll have on not only their workouts, but how they feel. And we go from there. And when, you know, at Gauge, we have our in-body scanner, so we're able to see what people's lean body mass is. And I take that number, and that's the first thing I circle. And I say, this is how much protein your body requires every day. And for some people, it's like sticker shock. It's like, like, what? And then I run off with them what they eat and what they enjoy and what they love. And I try my best to kind of figure out for them best ways to get in that amount of protein. And then we go through the other macros and see how they feel and adjust. And it's not all about calorie counting. It's about really focusing on the king macro and going from there. And a lot of times, you know, we just finished up a challenge and people are getting amazing results. And, you know, they're like, but I ate more than I've ever eaten. And I'm like, yes.
That's such a huge misconception.
I'm like,
isn't it?
we're getting
really
it now.
is.
Like, and foods that they never like, you know, focusing on protein versus focusing on, you know, taking away and focusing on putting more on your
Like
plate.
quality calories versus quality food. Like you can eat more.
It's like exciting.
Because especially if you know you're, you know, if your activity level's higher versus lower, you have to figure these things out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I know just from this challenge alone, having a reset, you know, with my macros and all that stuff, like I feel in the gym, like I feel like I'm moving faster. Like I don't know, it just seems so much easier to keep up and to have that like that stamina, I guess, to keep pushing through.
And 4 weeks isn't a long time.
Right.
And it isn't a long time, but you know, results are not just on that paper. They're strength in the gym. They're the longevity of workouts. I mean, we've thrown some intense workouts in the last 4 weeks. So it's really is, and the consistency of showing up.
Sure.
And it's like people are so excited now to come into May, just so fired up from that. And it's really cool to watch.
I'll say this about a challenge. It makes you so mindful of what you're putting in your mouth.
Totally.
Yes.
But what I also, like, I love what you said about showing up. Like, it's like, you don't want to let your other friends down. Like, you're on a team. And I think that is so, like, forget about the in-body, which is important, obviously, but, like, that, to me, was the most motivating of it all. And something about the sticker. Like, there's some sort of SOP.
What are you stickers when we go to the workout?
Oh, the
it's
sticker.
phenomenal.
Can I just put a sticker on the wall every time I come in?
I remember it was years ago, and I'm like begging Devin for a sticker chart. I'm like, please. And he's like, D, the sticker chart lives in your heart. And I'm like, no, because I can't see that. I mean, it just goes back to like that visual of just being able, and that motion of being able to walk across the gym and just.
I know.
Yeah.
And Jen, you're dealing with so many personalities. Like a sticker chart is actually for people like I know Dee and I always say like we want the stickers. We want the we want the you know, we want to be on the frequent sweater list.
I did not think that would be sticker people that are sticker people.
Oh,
now.
man.
And it's amazing. Like the smiles and it's great.
Fun.
Yeah, it really is.
Like
It
you
is
go to
so
like
fun.
this job all day and you're in an office or wherever you're at, and then you come in the gym, you're like, oh my God, it's a sticker.
I get to be with my people.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Jen, we have so many questions. I
Yeah,
know.
bring it.
Another question that I know we all talked about too is like, you know, you hear a lot, and we know a lot of what you're going to say we've heard because we work with you.
Absolutely.
But cardio versus strength training, you know, you know, there's people out there that you see running on the road every day and they're, you know, maybe twigs, and then you're like, okay, should I be running? Should I be, you know, strength training? Should I be doing Pilates? Like, there's so many different options. What's like the right balance? Is it different for everyone?
Yeah. That's a great question.
You know, what are your thoughts, or how do you know?
My thoughts, muscle is our longevity organ, okay? Strength training is not optional. It's essential.
No.
Okay.
Cardio is good, but at our age, for people in their 40s or going through menopause or beyond, it's a different style of cardio than we did in our 20s and 30s. So a lot of people know of HIIT cardio, high intensity, it's the dosage of cardio. It's not like necessarily like cardio, more or less. It's the dosage and how you're going to go at it. And I've been sharing lately the importance of sit training. So sprint interval training. So it's not like you have to go sprinting, but it is short spurts, 20 to 30 seconds, high intensity. And then you pull it back for an entire minute to 2 minutes.
Okay.
So you're literally, and this is my favorite cardio right now, because I used to be a runner. I used to love running.
Okay.
But it wasn't doing my body good. And doing the sit training, bookending it, or doing it 3 days a week doesn't take long at all. I do about 4 sprints to every 1 to 2 minute interval off. I usually use the bike because I hate the bike, but I love the bike.
It's always better for you if you hate it.
Right? Right? But you can do it with a sled, you can do it with a rower, a skier. You can sit train with a lot of different things. You're just really, the game is getting, and it's that style of cardio is good for our hormones, it's good for our metabolism and for our muscles. And strength training, I thank God every day that I walk through the doors of Gage and somebody told me about it, because I was one of those girls that didn't, I had, during COVID, I had like the heaviest weight in my house was a 10-pound dumbbells.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this isn't good. I walk into Gage and I see like 80-pound. I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, this is scary. And now I'm like, yes, let's lift heavy, because I know muscle,
is so important.
Muscle creates longevity, and I can't share enough how important it is to strength train.
Okay.
And it can be intimidating, and it can be, but after the age of 30, every decade we lose between 3 to 8% body fat.
Wow.
So knowing that and preserving our muscle for lifelong longevity and all the benefits and bone density. I know I'm geeking out a little bit, but it's like totally, it excites me. And we're at that age where we it's time to create muscle to stay.
It's true.
Yeah.
And there's so many options. And there's, whether you work with a coach, if you can't, you can do it at home, starting light. It is so important.
I did hear the most important thing about, creating a routine and strength training is community.
Oh,
it really is.
It
really is. And if you're new to it, I encourage people, like, find a community. We have people all levels at Gage, and it is really, truly like people who are just getting started to people who are seasoned, and being around people who are seasoned, like you guys, inspire the people that come in, and that really excites. And being around your people, it's just, community's huge. We
talk about it all the time.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun, and it's challenging, and it's just... It's great.
I love that we all go into a space that we all have a goal.
Yeah.
Like we're all there
we're
to
in it
accomplish
together.
and better.
Totally.
Well, we're all there to better ourselves, and that's awesome to be around that sort of energy.
I agree.
And even like my favorite thing is when you're working out and there's like a coach next to you. Like Tyler is my favorite to work out next to when he takes the class, because he's screaming in pain just like the rest of us.
Your coaches are people too.
Yes, there's no it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, I like
what
when
your
I'm
fitness
working
level.
out with Jen, and I know that she wrote that program, and I'm like, I'm going to kill you.
Sometimes we think Jen maybe does have bad days, because you should see what she makes us do.
People say that.
Funny that you should say, though, that you were a runner before. That kind of like spoke to me in a bit, because I know when I was younger, I loved cardio, and I still love, I love to work out fast.
Absolutely.
But what worked for me even 10 years ago doesn't work for me at the age that I am now. And I never thought that would, people would say, oh, after you hit 50, it changed. Guys, it changes. Things change. And I feel like I'm working out and implementing that, but lifting heavier, huge difference. Eating more protein, huge difference. So those things, just taking the learnings, what we've learned from you and everyone at Gage, that has been so crucial to
and
our everyday.
Find a Jen online,
Totally.
whether it's her Instagram or find someone like Jen that you can follow, because days I'm like, what am I going to make for dinner? Or I really don't want another protein shake. Then I see her pour that shake, and I'm like, or I see her jamming out in her car. I'm like, I can get to the gym today, and I can, I can do these things. All right, Jen. So we could go on forever.
I feel like we could talk to you for days.
But we only, since we're, we try to be mindful of time.
Sure.
We're gonna play a little game.
Okay, I'm
Just
down.
a rapid fire Q&A.
I love
which Jen does it to people at the gym, so
I do.
she's probably prepared
do.
for these questions. But we're gonna do.
All right.
Steve, do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
What's one thing that's always in your gym bag?
Burt's Bees chapstick.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite player on the Eagles?
Oh, you guys.
Gotta pick one.
Saquon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you prefer a sweet treat or a salty treat?
I'm going to have to go with sweet treat.
Mm.
Yep.
What's an
chocolate.
emoji that you use most when you're texting?
Definitely the heart, but recently the melty face.
Yes.
I don't know why. Like I just
I don't know the melty.
you have
Oh,
to
you
see the
do.
melty
Oh,
face.
yeah,
It's like
I love the melty face.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah.
look at it. Okay, that's
If you could take your, if you could just go home and say, kids, pack a suitcase, where would you take them on vacation today? Anywhere.
I
Just
would
the three
take
of you.
them to Nantucket.
Okay.
Oh,
I love
I've
it.
never been.
Nice little beach vacation.
Can I ask the final,
yeah. And the final question.
First off, thank you so much for being
Yeah,
here.
this is awesome.
Absolutely.
This
Thanks.
was so
Thank
fun.
you for inviting me.
You inspire everyone in this room.
You do.
We have so
We love
many
you.
outside of
Thanks.
this room. So thank you for everything that you
Absolutely.
do and for your passion behind it all. So that
Thanks.
really speaks to us. But our final question would be, if you have one piece of advice for people getting into this business
Yeah.
in the wellness space,
Yeah.
what would that be?
Do what excites you. Be you and do what excites you. If you are somebody who is passionate about wellness, passionate about serving others, passionate about moving their body, go for it. Doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you went to college for. It doesn't matter if you have that like fire in your heart that you want to help others. Go for it and be you. Don't try to, there's so many people out there. There's so many, everybody brings something different to the table, but
Sure.
be you and just go for it. Right.
Yeah.
It's a fun adventure.
Well, Jen, can you
Yeah.
tell everyone how they can find you,
Yeah.
just to follow you, or if they want more information on Isagenix
Absolutely.
or Gauge?
I'm
or
on Instagram.
anything.
I love Instagram. It will always be my favorite platform. Peace_love_health_. And then you'll see my name, Jenn Smith, underneath.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you
We
for
love
being
you.
here.
Thanks, guys.
We
Love
are
you
so
so much.
happy, and we could do this all day.
I know. I love
We
it
say
here.
that
I
we
love
really
it.
we have a good time in here.
We do.
Well, thank you for listening.
Absolutely.
And we'll
Yeah.
talk soon.
Thank you.